Hi there. Here's a sneaky little way you can cover the outsider if you're thinking about using that horse or that runner to provide insurance. Let's just, for the sake of argument, we use the alternative angle for this race. I'm not saying that it's suitable for this race. I'm just using it to illustrate the point. So as you can see here, I'm selecting the bottom 5 in the market, and in the past I've suggested perhaps that you want to reduce the variable profit ratio on this one here to provide you with some insurance. In other words, if this one went on to win and your green up didn't happen, you would end up with a scratched trade. Alternatively, what you can do, given that it's more likely that the outsider will lose rather than the one that you're providing cover with, you may actually want to select that one and put cover on the outsider. Now, if you have an outsider that's relatively high in odds, first thing to note, of course, is there's not a huge amount of money on that particular runner. Understandably so, of course. So what you can do, if you notice the way Fairbot has calculated the Dutch, there's only pennies involved on the outsider to provide you with near enough a scratch. But if you change the offset to -4, 5 ticks, notice that the amount of money only increases slightly with minimum effect on the total profit on the other runners. Let me just reset that back to 0 again, and you'll notice these runners, these figures changing. Oops, wrong way. So if I set that back to 0, so we've got 215, pop it back to -5, and you've still got 215. But the thing to note, however, is although the odds for this runner is 180, and that's the figure that the Dutch is being calculated upon, the actual odds in the market are sitting at 230. Okay, so let's change to 200 here because the market has updated. If I click on submit, you'll see, of course, that the outsider, the odds that were taken were 250, not the 200 that was being asked for by the Dutch. And so instead of having a scratch, if this one goes on to win without the green up process triggering, you've actually got some money on it, and it's had virtually no effect on the figures for the other horses. So that may be something that you might want to consider. And of course, if you're in a particular race where there's 2 or 3 that are in the hundreds, say, you can apply that technique to all of them with very little cost or very little effect to the rest of the runners. Okay, give that a bash and see how you get on.